99% of people will throw away dull pruning shears because the blades look rusty, the pivot joint feels dry and rough, and every cut takes too much force. But today I'm going to show you a simple way to make these dull shears work again. If this method works, you could save money and keep your garden tools working for many more seasons. Welcome back to Dan Fix. I'm Dan. First, use a wrench to remove the nut from the shears. Take the tool apart carefully and place every piece into a plastic tray: the cutting blade, the support blade, the nut, the bolt, and the spring. I lay the parts out in order because reassembly becomes much easier later. For the cleaning bath, add baking soda to the tray. Then pour in enough rice vinegar to cover the rusty parts. Finally, add 1 small bottle of Coca-Cola, about 8.5 ounces or 250 milliliters. The vinegar and Coca-Cola have mild acidity, and the baking soda creates bubbling. Together, they help loosen grime and light rust, so sanding becomes easier. This is not a strong acid bath, and it does not replace careful cleaning. Wear gloves, work in a ventilated area, and keep the liquid away from your eyes. Have you ever cleaned rusty garden tools with vinegar, Coca-Cola, or baking soda before? While the parts soak for about 1 hour, we can build the sharpening tools. Start with 1 wooden chopstick and a piece of P1500 sandpaper. Cut a strip, wrap it around the chopstick, and fix it with super glue. I use this small round tool for curves, tight areas, and inside edges where a flat sheet is hard to control. Next, prepare the drill sanding tool. Wrap masking tape around the rotating shaft of a hand drill to create a base layer. Then cut a strip of P800 sandpaper and wrap it over the tape. Add super glue to hold it firmly. Make sure the sandpaper is tight before running the drill. Loose sandpaper can fly off. Use low speed, only wear eye protection, and keep your fingers away from the spinning shaft. The P800 tool removes dull metal and surface rust faster. The P1500 tool refines the edge later. After about an hour, take the parts out of the cleaning bath. Start with the handle and frame areas. Sand the rusty spots lightly and watch how quickly the metal begins to brighten. The soaking mixture did not turn old rust into new steel. It softened grime and loosened light oxidation, so sanding works with less effort. Now clean each small part one by one: the bolt, nut, spring, pivot area, and both blades' surfaces. Dirt inside the joint can make the shears feel stiff even after sharpening. Tell me what country you're watching from. I'd love to learn how people in your part of the world clean rusty garden tools. Now comes the most important part, sharpening the blade. Start with the P800 sanding tool on the drill. I set the blade at a slight angle following the original bevel. Do not flatten the whole blade face. We only want to refresh the cutting edge. Turn the drill on at low speed. Pull the blade from the heel to the tip across the sandpaper, then lift it away. Repeat the same motion. Do not scrub randomly back and forth. A steady direction helps keep the bevel even. P800 is coarse enough to remove small nicks, rust marks, and a lightly dull edge, but still fine enough to control on a pruning blade. I keep the pressure light because too much pressure can change the angle and make the shears cut worse. After the main cutting edge looks bright or clean, the other contact areas and lightly sand the support blade. This support blade is not sharpened the same way, but it must be smooth so the two blades slide cleanly past each other. Next, install the chopstick tool with P500 sandpaper into the hand drill. Spray a little water on the sandpaper and on the blade. Water carries away metal dust, reduces heat, and leaves a smoother finish. Use the same controlled motion, hold the original angle pull from one end of the cutting edge to the other, then lift away. P500 smooths the marks left by P800 and refines the edge. This step makes the cut feel cleaner. When the blade feels sharp enough, continue with the support blade and any small contact points. I also check the safety lock. If it feels loose or misaligned, adjust it now. A sharp garden tool needs a working lock when it goes back into a toolbox. Do not test the edge with your finger. The blade is already much sharper than it was at the beginning. Now reassemble the shears. Put the blades back together, insert the bolt, reinstall the spring, and tighten the nut. The nut should be snug, but not so tight that the shears cannot open and close smoothly. I add a little WD-40 to the pivot and the metal surfaces for final maintenance. It helps push out moisture and gives the joint a smoother feel. Wipe off the extra so the handles do not become slippery, and keep WD-40 away from flame or sparks. Before cutting branches, test the edge on this piece of sandpaper. Look at that. The blade cuts through much more easily now. These pruning shears were rusty, dull, and almost useless at the start. After soaking, cleaning, sharpening with P800, refining with P500, and lubricating the joint, they are ready to work again. If you found this useful, hit like, subscribe to DanFix, and tell me what garden tool we should restore next: pruning shears, hedge clippers, a shovel, or an old saw.